The foundation to community wealth building is community ownership and control of its assets and a flourishing cooperative economy.
We are at a pivotal moment in history to reimagine finance, to redefine finance, and reprioritize our funding, reprioritize what money can do. We can reverse the script, rewrite the rules of money, reverse the script so that money can be used to help and heal our communities rather than harm. Public bank is a financial institution that is owned by a local government, a city, a region, or a state. And the deposit base for a public bank are the taxes, the fees, the fines, the funds, the revenue that our city accrues, which then leverages to create loans just like any other bank. But the difference between a public bank and a private bank is with a public bank, the interest and profit belongs to the community. So rather than it gets siphoned out of state by private Wall Street bankers and private shareholders, that money stays here and gets recirculated back into our local communities so that we can fund things that we need: affordable housing, solutions to homelessness, a Green New Deal for Los Angeles.
Capitalism just allows a few people to make it. Everybody else gets left behind. Then we need a strategy like cooperative ownership, because there you have broad ownership, you have community wealth.
We could, create several companies with, 50 employees at a time where we could build wealth in the community.
The model is such that no less than 80% of the ownership or the equity of any of those businesses is held by the employee owners. So there can never be a dilution event of any sort, no private equity or outside investment that, that might take that ownership level down.
The initiative started in 2018. The fund was created and the backbone of the fund was defined to basically acquire small businesses in the community, convert them to employee ownership, and support them in the evergreen network of other cooperatives. The first one we acquired was in February 2020. It was a weatherization business. We set up the cooperative, we put all the assets in the cooperative, we rehired all the employees. It really takes till the point of profit sharing for it to sink in, like, wow, this is real. Wow, I'm electing my own coworkers to the board of directors. These trucks I'm driving around in to put insulation in or do a home energy audit, they're mine.
We have our Green Team Cooperative. What its primary mission is just landscaping, in the community, but we want it to move in a direction where it is concentrating on gathering the organic material that's left from cutting the grass, trimming the trees. So them to be involved in this composting and kind of reuse and recycling piece. And then the other one primarily is the Community Production Center. It's a light scale manufacturing that's based upon digital fabrication, right? And the whole science around digital fabrication. So that's precision cutting, water mill cutting, what most people understand is 3D printing. The main thing, just so folks know that it is actually working on is learning how to produce housing, right? Like different types of 3D print housing.
Most fisheries are depleted, but lobstering is thriving in the Gulf of Maine. There's something like a couple of hundred boats for ground fish in this Gulf, and there's more than 1,000 boats for lobster. And the reason is that there is essentially economic democracy is governing the lobster industry in Maine, where lobster fishermen elect their own representatives and help set rules like how many traps can you hang off a buoy. And the state has set rules based around the life of lobster, like you can't take a lobster, a female who has eggs on her, that's illegal. But but there's a really interesting ownership rule that's going on here, and that says that lobsterman, the fisherman has to own the boat that's fishing on the inshore waters. No corporate boats can fish inside the sensitive inshore waters where the lobster live. Basically, they have a rule that says only mom and pop operations can do lobster fishing, and they also have a rule that says you have to fish with traps and no trawling. So you respect life, you respect the life of the lobsters, you respect the life of the bottom of the ocean, and you respect the life of the families that are fishing there. And when you build those rules into economic democracy and into the ownership structure, lo and behold, what happens? You have a thriving lobster industry. You have a thriving families. You can actually make a living fishing for lobster.
The Farm to College program is one of the first in the country. We started in 2003. The program has really blossomed into something that is very sustainable. 93% of the food that we served was through a wholesaler from anywhere in the world. Now we're purchasing over 20% of our food on a $3 million budget. One of the purposes of our program was to strengthen the agricultural economic development in the state of Montana. Of course, the volume that we go through, I couldn't have my food buyers call 30 farmers to get 300 pounds of tomatoes. And so this co-op started up in the Flathead Valley. And it's been fantastic. I mean, that one call and we can get all of the items that we need. And they also then began selling to the local restaurants, and now they have a very viable business enterprise that helps the farmers and is that good connection between the restaurateurs and the farm.
Kodiak Electric is a cooperative, and we're owned by what we call the members. So when you have a service or meter with Kodiak Electric, you are a owner of the company. The benefit is that any profits that are made by the company are redistributed to the owners. It's actually a mission statement that we will endeavor to provide 95% renewable power by the year 2020. Now in 2014, this year is projected to be a 99% renewable energy.
So Divine Chocolate is a chocolate company that delivers fantastic chocolate. It's delicious. But what's special about it is that the cocoa farmers in Ghana co-own the business. And so they own 33% of the company here in America. They have seats on the board of the company. They have a say in how the company is run, and they ultimately get a share of distributed profits. And so Quapacoco was established in 1993 as a cooperative.